The beginning of Battle Lab really started back in Chapter 1 when they introduced Playground. Now, obviously, Playground was a mix of creative and Battle Lab, but you can only see the correlation between the two. Playground was huge at the time, especially loved by players that love just casual impact, casual gameplay, and even players that just love to meme around. And I would even say Swits probably loved it too, to try out new weapons that were introduced in the game and just explore the map a lot more so they know spots to land. But most importantly, it was just fun to play, especially when you got sick of Battle Royale. If you didn't want to go play an LTM or you got bored of all the LTMs, you could just come to Playground and chill, have some fun, meme around, and just throw things with your friends. Now, Fortnite definitely did have some creativity with the building, but Playground offered you way more creativity and just way more leisure in your gameplay. Now, this doesn't make one better than the other. I'm just saying it's kind of the separating factor of the two modes. I feel like a nice step away from Battle Royale was still banking off what it did and what it had inside of that gameplay. Playground would eventually get removed around 2019, but we would also get creative a little bit before it got removed, I'm pretty sure. And then obviously we had Battle Lab that came a little bit later. Now, creative took the limitless gameplay and obviously the creative part of the gameplay that was in Playground and put it into its own, game. And Battle Lab took more of the open world and exploration aspects that we could explore in Playground. Now, creative has obviously grown to its own success, being its own huge monster nowadays. We have Roblox and Fortnite at this point, but Battle Lab had a different experience and is not even alive anymore. Now, Battle Lab was definitely something that was always special to me. I definitely liked it a little bit more than Playground, but what I liked about Playground a little bit more than Creative was that it just had the Battle Royale island and still let you do all the things that Creative let you do. I thought that was amazing. Other than that, though, Creative definitely has the upper hand, but in my opinion, when it comes to the open world and exploration aspects, I go Battle Royale all the way. It made me feel way more connected to the game, or at least what the game had to offer when it came to its map and its items and its bosses, things like that, because I could really understand how to fight them, how to use weapons, how to build at certain places, where to go at certain places, and I just thought it was really cool. Kind of the same thing as Playground, except it was way more fun in my opinion, just due to the fact that I could literally play a season's map, a season's blue pool, without having the constant rush that Battle Royale gives you while playing through it. And don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing that Battle Royale has. It's really good for bringing the game forward, and I love that it has this too, but at some point you just want to sit back and chill, but still get to experience Battle Royale to a certain degree, and I think it did a great job of banking off what Battle Royale did the same way that Playground was able to. It really has something to offer for everyone, and I think that's why it was so loved by the community, but at the same time, it was just a lesser version of Battle Royale, and I think that's what made it so forgotten to some people. I usually go to Fortnite when I get bored or don't have much other games to play, and that's why I just love the game in general, because I can always come back to it. When there wasn't much other games to play and I got bored of Battle Royale, I would always hop in Battle Lab, just due to the fact that, one, we didn't really have that much LTMs in Chapter 2, but also, it was just fun to experience the island in a different way. Nowadays, when you get bored of Battle Royale, there's not much other you can turn to that really gives you that Fortnite vibe, because if I want to play a racing game, I'll play a racing game that's not included in Fortnite. If I want to play a survival game, it's not going to be like Fortnite. And if I want to play a rhythm game, I can tell you 100% it is not going to be Fortnite Festival. Now, there's something against these game modes, and there's definitely people that only really play Fortnite and are fine with playing other games inside of Fortnite. But for me personally, I only really come to Fortnite for Fortnite, and if they have these other things that still feel like the game and still give you a reason to play Fortnite, but, feel a little bit off of what it originally is, I think that's a perfect way to have an LTM or a game mode inside of your experience. I can tell you with 100% certainty, me and my friends all loved Battle Lab. We'd always try new things in it. We'd always meme around in it, try new meme strategies in general that we couldn't really do in Battle Royale because everyone was always trying to eliminate you. Like I said, it didn't have that constant rush that Battle Royale was constantly putting in your face, which is fine. That's what Battle Royale is supposed to be, and I love that about Battle Royale. But it definitely did feel like a chill experience to have fun with your friends in. And I can tell you 100%, it was so much easier on update night when you didn't have to constantly rush with other people to get the new item or go to the new POI, and instead you could just explore it in peace on, Battle Lab. As someone who started a stream recently, I would have loved to have this to play with my chat. I know that they do have customs, but like I said earlier, you respawn in Battle Lab, and that's what made it so much easier to have fun in, because if you mess something up, you can just respawn right after. You can't do the same thing in customs, and it just limits how much you can really do with your gameplay. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but for me, the game just felt a lot less stale when I could turn to Battle Lab at any time. And based off my recent community post on this subject, I can see a lot of people feel the same way that I do. Now, in my opinion, this season has been a top 6 season for me. I don't really care what anyone else says. I've had a lot of fun in it, but I haven't seen myself playing as much as I have with a lot of my other favorite seasons. And I think the reason for that is that there's not much to turn to outside of Battle Royale when it comes to the actual BR gameplay. That's just an example I have for what I've been saying this entire video, but I just feel like without that thing to turn to, without that LTM to turn to, without that Battle Lab, experience to turn to, without all those things to turn to, there's not really much I can do in the game outside of do the same match over and over again. And I do believe Battle Royale has a lot of replayability to it, don't get me wrong at all. I think that every match does have some type of difference to it, but at the end of the day, I'm still playing the same game with the same gun, same mechanics, and I do like to switch up my loot a little bit some of the time, but overall, it does just end up feeling like the same thing until they update the game. It's definitely a game that I'd love to see return. I often hear that they removed it because of creative, because you can do the same thing in creative. This is just not true, like, at all. Until they add the BR Island into creative, I will not take this point seriously in any way, shape, or form. There's something about the fact that you could explore the BR Island in a more calming way, especially when it came to lore, looking around at what you could do lore-wise. Just everything that it had to offer was way more than what creative has to offer in the sense of what Battle Lab was. The only thing I could say to improve on Battle Lab would be that I really wish they did more than one season, or more than just the current season. It'd be so cool if you could go and experience every single other season's map, but that might be a hard thing to do server-wise. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that, I don't know. But another thing I want to touch on is the fact that I feel like Battle Lab had a lot more potential than they used it for, and obviously there could be Battle Lab in another mode that goes off of these other things like lore. I think Battle Lab could have been a great way to explore more lore, which it was at some point when they were hiding lore around the map, but at the same time I think they could have used it even more when they put NPCs around the map or with bosses around the map. You could really explore and talk to people maybe in a different way than in Battle Royale. Instead of the NPCs just selling you items and things like that, this time they could actually talk to you about things that were happening on the island, and you could really explore it, and they'd hide more details within Battle Lab than just in Battle Royale, so you could actually pay attention to those. I think that'd be really cool, especially if they had more events in Battle Lab. I think honestly that'd be a really good idea. Not only that though, like I said earlier, I think it'd be a great idea if we could go back and just experience all of these old maps and old islands and things like that. I don't know. In my opinion, I think it'd be pretty interesting. But those are the two things I feel like Battle Lab could have been. To people that want an open world version of it, I think they could definitely build off what Battle Lab did and actually make an open world version of Fortnite where they combine a lot of the other previous maps into one. That would be sick, honestly. If they were able to combine Chapter 4's map with Chapter 2's map, Chapter 3, Chapter 1, etc., all into one, in every chapter they build onto it, adding another one. I'd honestly enjoy that a little bit. Adding mini bosses around the map, that'd be pretty sick. I don't know why they haven't done something like that yet, only because maybe it's going to take up a lot of space, but personally, I think it'd go pretty hard. And I really think they can probably do it. I understand that they have some limitations, but at the end of the day, Fortnite has made enough money to be able to do things like that. I just hope they build up for one of these. It doesn't even necessarily need to be an open world kind of game or like an open world exploration kind of game, but if they were able to combine all the islands together, I think people would be more than happy, especially if you could go to those islands and explore those loopholes instead. I think those on its own would make people stop asking for OG so much or this so much or this and that, you know what I'm saying? But also, when you go into Fortnite, why the hell are Party Royale and Legends Landing or whatever it's called still a thing? Like, how did you remove Battle Lab but you still allow Party Royale to be a thing in this game? Like, genuinely, I just don't understand it. Like, I'm sorry, but the day I pick Sex Simulator and Fortnite over Battle Lab, I don't even know what to tell you at that point. I'm off my rocker, and at this point, that's the fall off for sure. I'm not trying to hate on any Party Royale players out there, if there really are any. I went in for a few games, and I don't even think those people are real. Like, genuinely, they were just fishing and standing in the middle of the room dancing. I don't understand what the hell is going on in that game mode. I don't even know why it's a thing. Team Rumble is pretty cool too, but how are you gonna remove Battle Lab and not Team Rumble? I mean, listen, I get Team Rumble has a much more special place than whatever. I don't even care anymore. Just add Battle Lab back to the game. I'm sick of Fortnite cockblocking it. That's all I really have to say in this video. If you have any other ideas, tell me in the comments, and I'll see you guys later.